back into an old school kind of story, which is cops potentially shooting, like, innocent people. Let's see what came out of this story.
So, former Texas cop charged over shooting of teen outside McDonald's. Former Texas police officer was charged Tuesday, more than a week after video emerged of him apparently shooting a teen who was eating in a McDonald's parking lot.
Ugh, he's clearly caring about that teen's health.
Yep, so James Brennan, who was fired from the San Antonio Police Department, is facing 2 counts of aggravated assault. Eric Cantu is on life support and in critical condition following the October 2nd incident. So details. Brennan reported the vehicle he was in was the same one that had evaded him the previous night during an attempted traffic stop, and he suspected it may be stolen. Okay. Bodycam footage shows Brennan, who was a rookie officer, opening the door, eating and shooting at the teen shortly afterwards. As the officer approached him, Cantor backed up his car and struck the officer with the open door.
Well, that's not good.
Okay. What they're saying, the San Antonio Police Department said Brennan was fined following a review of the incident, calling his actions in violation of departmental tactics, training, and procedures. Charges of evading detention into vehicles and assault on a police officer were filed against Cantu and have since been dropped. My goodness.
So this is very complex and very.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving pieces here.
Well, it's very interesting, and it's not quite the same, but it reminds me of an incident that I saw on the comment section with Brett Cooper in regards to Chicago.
Okay.
And there was a video on that sequence of this cop encountering like a mostly naked woman who was high on something, and she was lying mostly naked on the street.
Okay.
And just walking through the intersection, and the cop confronts her, tries to arrest her, but because she's mostly naked, he's afraid, and he's white and she's black. Mm-hmm. And so he's more afraid of the backlash to him mistreating her or assaulting or doing something improper with her, that he essentially, by his inaction or inability to act, she steals his police cruiser and runs him over.
Dang.
Because he's so afraid. Well, I'm fairly certain, because he's trying to stop her without touching her. Because she's naked.
Yeah.
Because he's so afraid of getting a sexual harassment claim. I'm like, if you're naked in the street, cops should be allowed to take whatever is necessary steps to arrest you, and you lose the right to any sexual harassment claim. As long as there's actions are being taken in the course of arresting you. Because he was just no. And I'm like, I get that you're afraid of these things. Mm-hmm. Because that can ruin your career. But that's not as bad as your police cruiser being stolen, you getting run over by your own car. Yeah. And he was he's afraid of shooting her. I'm like, you cannot be afraid to raise your weapon against someone who is a minority. I know that the BLM backlash will be bad. Mm-hmm. But you got to do it.
No, I mean, you have to defend yourself because you don't know what to expect. Yeah.
And she backed over him and then drove over him again. And I'm like, shoot her! Shoot her!
Yeah, that's what happens when you hesitate in those kind of high stakes kind of situations. If you click on the little link there, Bodycam video, it actually shows you the incident.
Okay.
I checked it. Go to the 1 minute.
I'm Captain Alyssa Campos,
the 1 minute
training commander for the San 45 p.m. As the officer attempted to gather information from witnesses, he noticed a vehicle that had evaded him the day before as the officer attempted a stop because the registered license plate did not match the actual vehicle. This vehicle was not the subject of the disturbance call. The officer thought the car may be a stolen vehicle and called for cover. Before cover officers arrived, the officer abruptly opened the driver's door and ordered the driver out of the car.
That's why I said the 120 mark, because you started really early.
Yeah, I did.
Get out of the car.
He opens the
With
car.
the vehicle door still open, the driver put the vehicle in reverse and attempted to leave. The officer was hit by the open door. The officer then stepped back and opened fire on the vehicle as the driver reversed away from him. The driver shifted the vehicle to drive and then turned away from the officer to leave, and the officer shot several more times at the fleeing vehicle.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
The officer then attempted to run after the vehicle.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
The driver, identified as 17-year-old Eric Cantu, and his passenger, a 17-year-old female, were located a block away at Parliament and Blanco Road. Both.
So, what do you think of that?
Well, like, you have to be able to defend yourself, but
That's unnecessary force.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Like, if he was trying to run the cop down, totally justified.
He was just basically trying to get away, which is different than trying to run you over.
Yeah.
To be fair, like the cop didn't. Okay, so here's like some observations from the whole situation. One, the cop like literally went up to him and opened the door.
Without doing anything else.
Like, that seems odd.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would think if I'm a cop, I go up to the door, the window, knock on it, and be like, "Hey, I need you to put your window down,"
Mm-hmm.
And then you start talking, right? If you open the door, that seems very aggressive.
Yeah,
like, that seems like I feel like
very
if
instigating
I'm
an incident.
In a parking lot eating food, and a cop suddenly comes up and like opens my door, I'd be like, "What the?"
No, what I would have done? Okay, what I would have done if I was the cop,
Mm-hmm.
I would have gotten. It was like, that car looks suspicious. Gone up with my cruiser and parked right behind him.
And with the lights on.
Yep. And then as soon as you got up behind him, then turn your lights on.
Yeah.
And of course, call for backup. It's like, this car evaded me the other day. I think it evaded me, and the plates don't match.
Yeah.
So suspect is already like, there's a decent suspicion of this suspect being evasive to police, and we don't want to have what happened last night to happen again.
Yep.
So I just want to cover all my bases before I engage with the suspect.
Yeah.
So, and then of course, like once the guy is far enough away, then he starts shooting because for him it was an emotional reaction. It was like, oh, this guy heard me, so I have to attack.
Or he's getting away.
He's getting away. I have to stop him from getting away.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I think the only time you have a defensible rationale for opening fire is when either you're in
imminent danger. Yep.
Or when the person is in imminent danger to others.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, okay, maybe you could somehow make a case that he's in imminent danger when the guy's backing up. I'm like, okay, yes, because he's technically driving back with you and the door open. I'm like, okay, maybe. But at that point, like once he runs away, I'm like, okay, he's no longer in imminent danger.
Yeah.
Now that's or like trying to take him down like some cop in a TV show or something like that. I'm like, okay, I see why they fired him.
Yep.
That is what you should do anytime you hear about these kind of shooting incidents.
You have to evaluate them.
You got to evaluate them and make like some like reasonable inferences. Be like, okay, was that justified? Was that not justified? Same time, like I don't know what the heck that kid was thinking. Like that kid was trying to run away. I'm like, what do you?
It's like
all I can think is he must have like been gotten caught doing something.
Well, like if he's doing that, then it's like, okay, it's fairly likely that this car is stolen.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. Because if that's his immediate reaction, is just like, get out.
Yeah, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, is there a chance? Some particularly black people. I'm not sure what the race this kid is.
He sort of looked a little Hispanic.
I mean, I don't know, maybe, but he's definitely not white.
Yeah.
But I know some some communities, they have a natural aversion and fear of police, and so they don't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like, would a person who's totally innocent like immediately
react like that?
I'm like,
nope.
I find it hard to believe that he would, unless he's actually like worried about getting caught.
Yeah.
About something. That usually is a safe bet. So I don't know what the kid did, but I'm still don't think he deserved the death penalty for it.
No, he didn't deserve the death penalty. And like he should be reimbursed for his injuries.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But he should still be facing charges.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that he'll probably be reimbursed and the charges have been dropped. Mm-hmm. It's just like, okay, the cop acted improperly, but you did too. And you're getting off scot-free for this.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, this is why it's so hard to be a cop, because there's so many. Yeah, I mean,
well, it's like instantaneous decisions.
Yeah.
And that's also why, like, cops shouldn't be acting alone. It should be partners.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's just like, dude, no, why are you shooting? Come on, no. And like someone to go back and forth on ideas, because when people are alone and they get scared, then they make exceptionally irrational decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, and there have been like multiple incidents I've heard of. Cop going up to somebody in what seems like to be a very generic thing, and then suddenly gets shot at.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Totally out of nowhere. And it's like you don't know, the cop doesn't know what to expect. So
yep.
It's better to take every precaution. But yeah, that's the story. We should probably move on because